happen. That as the shortages develop more and more, prices will go up a great deal. People will then notice even more. Politicians will shriek and scream and blame it on everybody in sight except themselves. But eventually, that will bring out more supply. It will reduce demand. And eventually, the bull market will come to an end. They always have anyway. The cure for higher prices is higher prices. That means people become farmers instead of getting MBAs. If prices of cotton go high enough, they'll plant cotton in Central Park. If the price of oil goes high enough, they'll drill for oil on the White House lawn. So as prices go higher, I promise you people will notice and things will happen.
What would you say about the equity markets here?
Well, I'm not buying shares in the U.S. They skyrocketed. They went through the roof for about a year. I don't like to buy anything. It's gone up a great deal. I have added a couple of shorts, say 2, 3, a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, but I haven't bought anything in the U.S. or anywhere for that matter, any stocks, for some time. They've been on a tear. When I, anyway, don't like to buy after things have gone straight up for several months.
Okay. Now, is it some of the, what you've been saying to be weaker sectors for a while now that you're shorting here, the financials, insurance groups, things of this nature?
Well, I shorted one major world bank, and I shorted an index. I don't know many things that are in excess. I don't see many manias in the world right now, any bubbles. There are a couple of bubbles, but that's what I like to short. There may be things that are too high in price. Stocks may be too high. That's different from being in a bubble or being in a mania. I don't see many things. I mean, finance may be too high, and I just got through saying I shorted a big bank. But these things aren't in bubbles, not yet. If you know of any great bubbles, let me know, because I'm looking for it.
Do you think there could be a time here soon where you would consider shorting treasuries, bond debt instruments, especially now that we're seeing what's been happening with Greece?
No, of course. I am not short treasuries. That's one of the two bubbles I see developing in the world. But I'm not short treasuries yet because, they can do, whenever there's a bubble, crazy things happen. And that's why I'm not short. I've shorted enough bubbles in my life to know it's usually better to wait. So I'm waiting on the assumption or fear or whatever that the Federal Reserve or somebody will drive bonds up again. I hope that I'm smart enough to short U.S. government loan bonds at some time in the foreseeable future, but that hasn't happened yet.
How do you remain independent in your thought and in your perception on these markets when you've got so many people arguing on the other side?
Well, one thing I've learned is I'm usually better off coming up with my own perceptions, analysis, ideas. I don't really read or talk to other people, so I make my own opinions. But over the years, I've learned that, sometimes I get it right. I've also learned over the years that, especially if everybody says you're wrong, there's a very good chance that you're right. When everybody's thinking the same way, usually most people are not thinking. They're just following each other. So just a good sign for me when few people agree with me.
Jim, seeing what's been happening in the currency markets right now, all the stimulation that we have, what kind of upside limitations do you think we could see in gold and silver?
Well, who knows? You can ask me in 30 years. There's never anything such as a upside limitation. I mean, nothing can go to the moon, but things can go up awfully high. I would expect gold and silver to be much higher over the next decade or two because governments around the world are printing money and debasing their currencies. There's not a lot of new gold or silver mines coming on stream. Now, there are lots of gold reserves, huge gold reserves, not so many for silver. So the prices can go much higher, and I expect them to. I have no idea when. I mean, gold right now is making all-time highs in several currencies. I don't like to buy anything making all-time highs. It's near an all-time high in U.S. dollars. So I'm watching gold. I mean, I'm not. If I were going to do something in precious metals, I would probably take a closer look at silver or palladium or platinum or something. But no, they can go much higher. If the dollar collapses, then infinity is the possibility. You know, when a currency goes to zero, the gold price or any price in that currency will go to the moon.
How can people find your books and learn more about you?
Well, you go to any bookstore or any online book service, or you go to my website. There are 5 that I've done. They're all listed on jimrogers.com. Or just go to Amazon or go to the bookstore and say, what books has Jim Rogers done?
What projects are you working on, Jim, currently?
I got 2 little girls. One is 2 and one is 6. And that's my major focus now. I came to parenthood late, and I don't want to miss it. And being a parent is so much fun. I cannot get enough of it.
Jim, thanks for coming on the program.
Anytime. Thank you.